Take 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Daddy Luke. The interpretation of dreams.
Good.
Introduce Freud.
No, what? What did you say?
Introduce Freud to a provocative. No.
Keep going. Why you mess up? Introduce
Freud to a provocative idea of the unconscious, a mysterious realm of mind. According to Freud, beneath our conscious mind, there is a storehouse that is full of suppressed memories, images, and urges that are too painful to disclose. This can be found on page 71 and 72 on PALS. Freud believed that dreams represent a disguise fulfill of repressed wishes. So in order to understand our unconscious mind, we have to study dream. Amira Metamira, she is an anthropologist from U of T. She wrote an excellent book in 2010 about the culture of dreaming in modern Egypt that is called Dreams That Matter. So she discussed about the modern Egyptian way of dreaming, both engaged with Islamic traditional point of view and Freudian perspective. In studying dreams in Undreamy Time, when the author, she brought up this topic of dreams, people were often don't want to talk about it. They would say we are living a nightmare due to the fact that according to Amira's friend Ahmed, he said that dreams are like kalam. It's me, it just only talk. Just talk. There's no action. So he is very skeptic related to her work because he don't believe in things that cannot be touched. For example, because of the war in Egypt, there is increase in price, which leads to people waking up 3 in the morning just to line up to buy bread. So in the end, it leaves people with no little time to dream. But this book is trying to argue that some dreams are matter. They matter because they complicate the notion of a monolithic Islam, and they matters because they destabilize the conventional idea of understanding of real. On the contrary, on the other hand, Muslim dream interpretations has increased, especially on the street of Cairo. You will see people they will reprint and sell the manual books that has to deal with the interpretation that related to the Islamic view or also with Freud perspective. The kind of dreams that the author tried to tell us, they matter because not just because they provide protective blankets of our conscious. This part again.
You don't understand what you're
the type of dreams that the author try to tell us, they matter because not just because they provide the dreamers with protective blanket, but they also provide the dreamers in a relationship with in a relation to the divine guidance, offer them guidance. For example, there's a widely used term called inshallah, meaning God willing. So in a way, dreams continue to remind believers that there is a larger orders that embedded. How do I say that, Papa? God. Dreams continually remind believers of their embeddedness in their large order.
You know, words are important, right? You should use words you normally use in your everyday life, because it's hard for us to believe you if you can't even pronounce the word right.
Are you filming me?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm not filming you. I'm on Facebook. Just keep going.
Okay, so in a way, dreams remind the believer that there is a larger order beneath, aside from us. I don't think they understand it. Okay, just cut out that part. When the author talk about imagination or imaginary, she's not talking about, you know, that imaginary friend. In a way, she talk about imaginary to look at it as a wider variety view of the perceptions and conceptualizations to the real world. So when she's talking about the imaginary, there is a intermediate realm. She's referred to the intermediate realm between the divine and the human material. According to the Islamic eschatology, there is this term called barzakh, which is referred to the dead spirit that is dwelling to wait for until the judgment day. So when she used that term, it referred to either or. So the practice here shows there's a side of Islamic revival that has to do less with mosque and a worship group, but instead it has to do more with the Sikh shrines, the dead, and the barzakh. So according to the Islamic tradition, dream holds a special place to them. For example, the Prophet Muhammad received his revelation through dream. So every morning he will wake up and ask his companion what they dream about. So we will see that dream has a deep rooted in Quran or also in the Hadith literature. That is my whole word, right? So it's so smooth. So also there's, in the Islamic tradition, they are distinguished between literature, literal and symbolic dream visions. For example, when you dream about when you dream that you see the prophet, then you see the prophet. And there's no interpretation. But also in both cases of dream, it's also a reflection of the past experience. But dream can also foreshadow the present events. So the Sufi writer said that without dreams, the call of worship might not even happen in our present day time. Due to the economic hardship, Egyptians today are only concerned about their wicked lives. They care little about dreams because, according to them, dreams of a prophetic vision is a thing for the past. Nowadays, it's dream is just for a man wishfulness and worries. If that makes sense. And they call the people who are the Egyptians call all the dream interpreters are as charlatans. Especially in the Dead Sea destination of where the tourist people go, there is a sign that said, "You are not in dreamland." So for them, in the present day world, dream is just fun and luxury selling to people. So dream no longer offer guidance or today dream no longer consider more guidance and expression. So dream has been turned into a material aspiration. So according to E.B. Tyler, he said that the primitive people cannot distinguish between dreams and reality. It's also similar to Freud in a way. When he said that primitive children and neurotics fail to distinguish between reality and dreams. So according to Freud, dream wish is hallucinated. It can be real and not real. But in contrast with Islamic view, dreams is very important to them. No. In Islamic tradition, dreams visions are precisely valued because they are a way of making connection to the outside world. Also, It provides not within the dream and psyche, but also with the outside world. And Sharkrishi, I can't even say no Krishi. Sharkrishi distinguish between imagination and fantasy. He said fantasy doesn't refer to something real, but imagination can be real. According to him, there's two types of imagination. The one that is material, the one that is the materialistic kind, which is the unbelievable. For example, he said that a man envisions to invent a car. Before he built a car, he has to imagine it. But he concluded that imagination came from God without him realizing it. And the other imagination lasts only a moment, which is called a divine imagination, inspiration. Divine inspiration. So as you can see here, Sharkrishi theory is crashed. It's in conflict with Tyler view on dream and distinguish between reality and dream, and with Freud. According to Tyler and Freud, dreams, what the primitive fails to recognize that the dreamer is originate within the dreamer. What the primitive fails to recognize that dreams originate within the dreamer. But Shark, he said differently. But according to Shark, I can't say the word Krishi. According to Krishi, he said that it is the unbelievable people who fail to realize the reality. According to Shark. According to Shark, Krishi, it is the unbelievable people who fail to realize the order of reality. So when the author talk about the imaginations in this sense, you have to be able to understand the broader meaning, according with Shah. That's it, Baba. Horrible. Baba, horrible. Baba, horrible.